There's an interesting problem at the moment about the government's counter-extremism strategy, and a perplexing dual narrative is emerging from two different political leaders, from the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and from Yvette Cooper. And on the one hand, you've got Starmer highlighting the challenge posed by loners in attics, and on the other hand, you've got Yvette Cooper ruling out expanding the definition of extremism, arguing for a more measured focus. Well, which is it supposed to be? In the middle of these mixed metaphors and mixed messages, how are we supposed to feel reassured, particularly when the right-wing press and right-wing politicians are champing at the bit and telling us that we've got a two-tier policing system? What does this tell us about the coherence of the UK's approach to extremism and to terror? Starmer emphasises an urgent shift in focus. Following the horrific Southport murders, he paints a picture of misfits and young men in bedrooms radicalised by online content devoid of traditional ideological markers, obsessed by the algorithm. And his rhetoric, evocative and dire, suggests a UK emerging, there's a UK emerging threat that lies in these unpredictable individuals disconnected from clear ideological frameworks. But at the same time, Cooper pushes back on broadening extremism's legal definitions, and she insists that focusing on behaviours of concern risks overwhelming already strained counter-terror resources. And the leaked Home Office review suggests, and the suggestion of targeting misogyny, conspiracy theories and gore-obsessed online subcultures as indicators of extremism has faced sharp criticism for diluting focus and, more alarmingly, endangering free speech. So the tension is clear. Starmer advocates vigilance against a nebulous, ideologically agnostic threat, while Cooper defends a more conventional, ideologically driven counter-terrorist framework. This dissonance raises practical questions about policy coherence. How can the public feel reassured when the government seems unsure of the direction its resources should be spent, should take? How should its resources be used? Moreover, the leaked report, with its emphasis on behaviours over ideologies, has sparked a backlash. Critics like Policy Exchange warn that redefining extremism to include non-ideological violence or misogyny risks overwhelming resources with undermining efforts to counter Islamic and far-right threats. And shadow ministers like Chris Philp echo these concerns, framing the report's proposals as draconian, potentially stifling democratic debate. Compounding the issue is the divisive concept of two-tier policing. Right-wing voices, amplified by figures like Elon Musk and Nigel Farage, accuse authorities of policing certain groups more harshly than others, particularly in the wake of riots following the Southport murders. And the leaked review's classification of such claims as right-wing extremist narratives has inflamed tensions, with accusations of delegitimizing legitimate public concerns and debate. And Philp's criticism that such classifications tar large swathes of the public as extremists resonates with a broader unease about overreach. The public is left, therefore, navigating these contradictions. Are we to fear mad loners in attics, as Starmer suggests, or trust that existing frameworks focused on Islamist and far-right ideologies suffice? The leaked recommendations for non-crime hate incident recording and new laws on harmful communications only deepen the sense of overreach and confusion. The tension between ensuring safety and preserving freedoms lies at the heart of this debate. As Dan Jarvis has acknowledged, the Southport murders highlight gaps in prevents thresholds where an individual like Axel Rudakabana, flagged 3 times, slipped through the cracks. Yet broadening the net too far risks infringing liberties and stretching police capabilities to breaking point. Ultimately, the government must reconcile its narratives. The safety and the security of the UK hinge on a clear, coherent strategy that addresses the nuances of modern extremism without compromising diplomatic and demographic principles. Reassurance comes not from rhetoric, but from action, from targeted, transparent, proportionate action. And the public deserves a strategy that protects without paranoia, enforces without overreach, unites rather than divides. Until then, these mixed messages leave all of us in the dark, grappling with a growing sense of insecurity, not security, with a growing sense that we don't know who is protecting us or if indeed we are being protected.